Welcome to the Partnernomics Partnering Foundations course. Our mission is to make strategic partnering become a core competency for every client. Join the exciting conversations in our collaboration platform after this topical video.
Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to dive into the topic of innovation and describe the importance of having a corporate culture that embraces change. If you truly want to leverage the power of partnerships to achieve exponential growth for your company, then you must not only embrace change, you must lead it. Recall that a strategic partnership is a relationship that is intended to create a competitive advantage. There is only one way to create a competitive advantage, and that is through innovation. What is innovation? It is designing and implementing a better way, and by definition, implementing a better way always requires change. I will conclude this topic by discussing strategies for solution-based innovation and describe the mindset that winning companies embrace in the 21st century economy. I hope you enjoy the content from this topic. Now let's get started. I want to share a few examples of what happens when companies decide to view change as a threat and they decide to bury their heads in the sand and do nothing. Just like Chris McChesney, the author of the best-selling book, The 4 Disciplines of Execution, said, "Companies do not tread water. They either propel forward or they sink and drown." What is the common theme in the following set of examples? It happened to Borders in 2010. Do you remember Borders? They were a massive bookstore founded in 1971. At their peak, they had nearly 20,000 employees. In the mid and late 1990s, the massive growth of online reading started to chip away at Borders' profit margins. Seeing an opportunity, an entrepreneur named Jeff Bezos offered to manage Borders' digital bookstore, which included online purchasing and shipping of books to end customers. In August of 2001, Amazon and Borders signed a partnering agreement that had Amazon perform mail-order book sales and fulfillment for Borders' customers. This move brought a new revenue stream for Borders, but their non-innovative executives were unwilling to invest in the new world of digital and online shopping. This partnership quickly exposed Borders' customers to the superior buying experience that Amazon offered, and Borders' customers eventually left Borders and switched to loyal Amazon users. As with all high-growth companies, Amazon was focused on leveraging innovation and looking for ways to utilize new technologies to further disrupt the industries they competed in. In 2004, Bezos assembled a team of engineers at Amazon and he challenged them to build the world's best e-reader. His team accepted the challenge and they accomplished the mission. In 2007, Amazon released its first Kindle e-reader. Each year, millions of readers began to switch to the new device. Now readers could instantly download books and other content for a fraction of the cost of a physical book. Innovations in e-reading devices and delivery logistics gave Amazon a massive competitive advantage, and Borders simply got left behind. Do you remember Blockbuster, the national home movie chain? At their peak in 2004, they employed nearly 60,000 people and operated over 8,000 stores across the U.S. In the early 2000s, Netflix CEO and co-founder Reed Hastings flew to Dallas on multiple occasions to meet with Blockbuster CEO John Antioco to discuss a potential partnership. In the late 90s, Netflix entered the home movie arena by mailing DVDs to its subscribers before it began offering a video streaming service. Netflix executives shared their vision for the future, describing how the home entertainment experience would change from people driving to physical stores to rent DVDs to eventually streaming content into their homes and to mobile devices. The Blockbuster executives thought the Netflix executives were crazy and they had no interest in partnering with a tiny company. Netflix eventually offered to sell their company to the giant, Blockbuster, for $50 million. Again, Netflix was rejected, and I'm sure they are glad. Today, Netflix is worth over $150 billion. Blockbuster is a classic example of executives with huge egos and zero vision. What an epic failure. Do you remember Kodak? They were the original pioneers of photography. They were founded in New York in 1888. They dominated photography innovation for well over 100 years, but times change and leaders change. So what is the common theme of each of the dates that I have shared in this video? That's right, this is when each company filed for bankruptcy. Let me ask you, what eventually killed Kodak? Most of us have one in our pocket. Yes, it was the digital camera, and nearly every cell phone manufactured today has one. How can a company with roots so deep in photography innovation miss this massive opportunity in digital photography? Well, they didn't. Kinda. Who invented digital photography? Steven Sasson. Who was Steven Sasson? He was an electrical engineer that worked in Kodak's innovation lab. That's right. In 1974, Steven, a Kodak engineer, developed the first digital camera, and he obtained several patents for Kodak's digital photography inventions. But unfortunately, the executives from Kodak had no vision, and they were terrified to change their business from the physical world of ink and paper to the new landscape of digital. Eventually, the time limits ran out on their patents, and Kodak missed out on billions of dollars of revenue for its incredible digital camera inventions. Okay, so what does all of this mean? How can we apply all of these examples to help us be more successful in business? Clayton Christensen, the late Harvard professor, said, "Customers do not want to buy products or services. They want to employ simple, reliable solutions." Have you ever heard the phrases disruptive innovation or disrupting a market? Clayton Christensen popularized these terms during his research for the jobs to be done theory. In this theory, he said that most companies go about innovation the wrong way. Most companies try to implement incremental changes to their products or services, but what they should do is determine the end result that their customer wants. That is, identify the full job that the customer wants done. In the case of Borders Books, the customers wanted to read. They did not want to buy books. In the case of Blockbuster, customers did not want to rent DVDs. They wanted to conveniently watch movies. In the case of Kodak, customers didn't want to fill photo albums with 3x5 pictures. They wanted to capture memories. So as we think about companies and their products, we need to think about the ultimate goal of the customers and how we can offer a full solution, rather than sell a product or service that will only be a piece of the solution. Here is one last example to consider. Traditional taxi companies think that people simply want transportation from point A to point B, but these customers actually want timely pickup, a clean car, fair rate, non-cash transaction, to be informed of who will be picking them up and when, the ability to contact the driver, an electronic receipt for the trip, and a convenient mobile application to manage the experience. Let's face it, the typical taxi experience is horrible, and the average experience with Uber is great. This is why Uber is worth over $75 billion today. I challenge you to think of ways that companies can move from a product mentality to a solutions mentality. I describe this as making the easy button as big as possible for your customers, but this can be dangerous. Business school teaches us that we need to stick within our core competencies, and by definition, if we are seeking to offer a more holistic solution, we are moving away from the core competencies and into areas of which we have less expertise. This is where strategic partnering comes into play. Strategic partnerships allow you to leverage the expertise of market-leading companies to add value to your end customers. This approach allows your organization to stay within its core competencies while also leveraging the unique capabilities of other companies that have core competencies in complementary areas. If it were not for a strategic partnership between Apple and AT&T, the iPhone would not be what it is today, as neither company could have revolutionized the market for smartphones on its own. As Steve Case, the former CEO of AOL, stated in his book, The Third Wave, the 21st century economy is far too complex for any one company to offer a comprehensive solution. Therefore, companies must form partnerships with complementary organizations and revolutionize the sector in which they compete. This brings us to the end of this topic. In this video, I dove into the topic of innovation and I described the importance of having a corporate culture that embraces change. If you truly want to leverage the power of partnerships to achieve exponential growth for your company, then you must not only embrace change, you must lead it. I challenge you to discover new processes, tools, and solution ideas that can get your company started on the path of exponential growth. I hope you enjoy the content from this topic. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.
Thank you for participating in the Partnernomics Partnering Foundations course. Click the link below to join the exciting conversations happening in our collaboration platform. Welcome to the Partnernomics Partnering Foundations course. Our mission is to make strategic partnering become a core competency for every client. Join the exciting conversations in our collaboration platform after this topical video.
Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to dive into the topic of innovation and describe the importance of having a corporate culture that embraces change. If you truly want to leverage the power of partnerships to achieve exponential growth for your company, then you must not only embrace change, you must lead it. Recall that a strategic partnership is a relationship that is intended to create a competitive advantage. There is only one way to create a competitive advantage, and that is through innovation.